Hey guys, just a quick one. Went to locals today. It wasn't that great. 50% again, 2 wins, 2 losses, came 19th. I played Cool again, made some minor tweaks, still getting the hang of the deck and um, how to play it and stuff. Quick run through of the 4 matches, 4 round locals. First game, Doomsday. I opened up with just an Ash Blossom and 4 engine, but it was not great. Double Rico and some stuff. And going into his board, his first action was negate and equip the Rico, and I didn't really have a way to push through that. I did lose the die roll in that game. I rolled Snake Eyes. Going to game two, I went first, and I saw he had Forbidden Crown, and he already put Magnum Arts on field, so he was drawing into a dragon. He had another dragon and some spells. So I said, okay, that's not really a big issue, and I used my side deck to board break him, which I'll get into that, and I was able to secure the win in that game. Then go to game 3. He was going first. All I had was an ogre. I ogred his level 4 when it used the effect to rank up, and I thought that was a good hit. And then he was still able to end on a half board, but his half board was enough to stop me from comboing and killing him. And then after the game, so then he went to his turn and he had OTK. So I just told him, take it, no stress. And I spoke to him and he told me the better ogre target was the level 7. Because what you do is you use all those cards to go into the 7, and then the 7 to rank up into the big guy. So I said, oh, okay, I thought the 4 was a better ogre target because it adds you like more cards to play with and to extend. So it just told me, in that case, you're better off letting him burn the cards and then ogre on that, as long as he doesn't go Sargus into Merrymaker into Sargus at Regulus, because that's when it insulates the plays a little bit better. So I said, okay, yeah, that's good. Then I go game 2, round 2, sorry. Round 2 was against Kulchun, lost the die roll there. He rolled a 12, I rolled an 11. But he's a nice guy, his name is Fun. In that game, he won the roll, he went first, he set up a board, and I drew 5 engine, and he gave me a Veiler for turn, and I'm like, thanks, bro. And his end board was just, it was always going to be too strong with 5 engine cards playing into it. So then I sided up, went to game 2. Game 2, I opened pretty poorly. I had a field spell and a tuner, so I just go normal summon, field spell, send, and he ogres my field spell, and I just have to set 1 and pass. And he wasn't able to kill me that turn, but on his next turn I draw Ash for turn, and I'm like, let's try this again, because I played two field spells. LGC, I go field spell, Ash, send, and he just ogred it again, and he also had Ammonia in hand and stuff, so it was a losing battle. Then we played one more game just for fun, since it was such a quick game, and in that game I did win. But it was a bit awkward because on my turn I was able to push through in game 1. I was able to make some type of a board, but with RS messing up the levels and things, I wasn't so perfect with the deck that I knew everything, which is also something that I learned that I need to, I figured out what I need to work on to improve on with this deck. So yeah, that was that. And then game 3 was Primite Blue Eyes. I won that game, and he's a new guy. He's quite nice, but opening hand was too strong. I did my things. Game 2, I didn't have a way to play that well because he metamorphosis into a Dragoon, and I'm like, oi, thought Chaos Angel was rough. This is even worse. And then I couldn't out the Dragoon, and then game 3 I played. He couldn't win because I went first. After that, I went into game 4 with a Fairy Tale player. Round 1, I won the roll, did my board, he couldn't play. Game 2, he built a board. I played into his board, did quite a bit of damage to his board. On the kickback, he couldn't push through my board. Then on my turn, I just OTK'd him. So yeah, that's the rounds. I'm going to go through the deck quickly, explain my thoughts, why I chose certain cards, and what I'm going to look to cut, and some positives and negatives. So straight off the bat, just go with the names. I play all the names that are important at 3. So 3 Rico, Q, Mix, Rotary, and then the 1 of Clip. That's pretty standard at this point. Sometimes I was siding out 1 mix and playing 2 mix. There might be a time where I might be a bit more comfortable and I might cut mix down to 2. But I feel this deck, even though it's so strong and consistent, it's consistent only when you have like 2 card combos, because if it's a 1 card hand, 1 card combo hand, very often the interaction hurts the deck quite a bit. So that's it, and those are the cool monsters. And then for the spells, 3 synchro, and then I tried double JJ today. The reason was that I saw some lists playing 2 JJs and I wanted to test it out, because opening up JJ really helps push through boards and build your board a little bit better. It also gives you more lines of play if you open JJ and a tuner and no other play. So I did actually like it, but I did draw it quite a bit into like a bricky state. I still think 2 is right in the main deck. It's better than you siding 1 and then putting it in, because that just doesn't make sense. So 2 I think is correct. Also, when they out it, it's good to have a second one because they don't really see that coming. And this card, if you out it, puts so much pressure on the following turn, because it's most of your ways to build the board fast. So yeah. And then the power spells: Overtake, Double Jewels, Genesis, and Prosperity. Didn't really resolve Prosperity, didn't see it. There might be a world where this actually gets bumped up to 3. I think this Duelist Genesis is a really good card. It really makes your board, your deck a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more consistent, a little bit stronger. So this is something I'm looking to maybe do 3 of. I think it's a really good card. So yeah, but I don't think you should play 1. It's either 2 or 3. You have to choose. And then the thing is, what am I going to cut for it? We'll have a little discussion on that, because you could make the argument cut 1 and cut 1 mix to play the 3rd, but like mix kind of does what that card does already, but not as well. But yeah. And then the hand trap lineup for the sisters: 3 Bell, 1 Ogre, and then 3 Ash. Those are the only Ghost Sisters that I played, and this is something that I picked up that might need to be addressed. Double Roll. I have to play Droll because there's so much of Mitsurugi, so much of Sky Strikers and pile decks in the room, so it's kind of good to help make those boards a little bit more tolerable. And then 3 Veiler, and then 3 Imperm. Imperm wasn't that great of a card, ironically, but there is a way I could see you might cut down Imperm to 2, then play 2 Imperm, 3 Veiler. That's something I could look into. And then for the last card, I was thinking about trying it out today, just to have a little bit more versatility and play, and that was 3 Fallen and Virtuous. This card was actually pretty good, all things considered. It was able to help me break a board, able to put pressure on my opponent, able to stop them from using certain cards that they might need on the field. It was good against the Cool Tune player where I could fall in Virtuous his field spell and he wasn't playing 2 field spells. So yeah, this was good. But I don't think it's main deck or side. It might be coming out. It's not that perfect in this deck, and I'll explain why. Then for the side, the second Ogre, call by talent. I played 1 anti-spell. The reason was I'm like, it's a pretty cracked card. If I draw it and just anti-spell my opponent, there's not much they can do when I already know their hand and top deck. And then I played 3 super polys, and this works with the Fallen and Virtuous, and I will talk about that in a sec. And I played 2 lightning storms and a feather duster, and then 2 Purulia, and then 3 Flua. I don't really think Purulia is that needed. I didn't see it. I don't even think I sided it. So if I had to cut stuff from this extra, I'll probably cut this package here, these cards, because they didn't really enhance the game that much for me. I'll probably cut this lineup of 6 cards, which gives me 6 slots to play around with. So yeah. And then the extra, 2 track, 2 remix, 2 RS, and then the one-offs, 1 crackle, 1 back-to-back, 1 loudness, 1 chaos angel, and then I played a double Zalen, Dogma that Devours, an Ecclesia, and a Garura. So the thing with the Super Poly was, Branded is pretty popular, not just in my locals. I think it's pretty popular as a deck right now, because it's quite a strong deck. And what I was doing was, I was using the Fallen and Virtuous to send so yeah, just went to get some water. As I was saying, like, I was using Fallen and Virtuous to send the Dogma, and then end phase I was using Dogma to add the second Virtuous, because this adds a Tribrigade or a Dogmatica card from deck to hand. So this card is always treated as a Branded and a Dogmatica card. So then on the second turn I could go Virtuous, send Ecclesia, use Ecclesia and Dogma, shuffle back a card. So it allows me just to get rid of potentially 3 cards, and that is off 1 card. So that's what makes it really good, like in terms of trade, because you go trade 1, replenishes itself, use this, send another one, use this to shuffle back. So that's when this card becomes really good, and it was really good. So what I did was, I Virtuoused my opponent in Doomsy, and I sent Dogma. I used Virtuous to add, used Dogma to add Virtuous, and I super polyed him and made Garura. And I didn't really have a way to, and he set Forbidden Crown. So I'm like, okay, Fallen and Virtuous, target my Garura that's in defense, and send the Ecclesia. Because now, if he doesn't use the crown, Garura will destroy, draw 1, and then I can Ecclesia shuffle back his crown. So then he had to crown it, and I'm like, cool, at least now I know I still have a body on board. So that's what was cool about that. But yeah, I do believe there's still place in this deck for this card in some way, shape, or form, but not right now. And then it pairs with the Super Poly, because my whole thing was, in branded, I could super poly their board and make my dogma, and then they have to find a way to get rid of this body, and I would have outed 3 of their bodies because I'd used their Albaz and 2 of their monsters, a light and an effect monster. So you could even out a Mirror Jade with this card, which was in theory ridiculously good. But I didn't first brand it, so it didn't come up. So yeah, that is the deck. The issues I found with the deck was minimal, but there was some significant issues that I encountered. Number one was your opening hand, you don't have enough to like really push through them, because let's just say your only card is a mix, and you normal summon mix, you use its effect, and they impermanent. And now mix is kind of awkward because of its levels. You can't really go into anything. Yeah, so that's what I ran into. As I was saying, I ran into quite quickly was there's only one line of play sometimes, and you want to increase your plays. So I don't think the side frames are your answer to life's problems. I feel the side frames are a bit too hit and miss, too weird of cards to play with. Because I mean, do you really want to be opening a driver or like gamma and mix, and that's your only way to play? Like, it's just very awkwardly done, I feel. So yeah, in terms of what I'm gonna cut, I'll probably take out the Fallen and Virtuous from the main deck and do 2 Ghost Mourner, and I think Ogre is low-key very slept on, and it's a very strong addition to the deck. I think this is a lot better, a lot nicer. So I would do something like that, and then I'm back up to 40. And then for the third Duelist Genesis, I might cut 1 imperm. I might cut 1 imperm for the third Duelist Genesis, because I don't think there's anything here that you necessarily want to cut, or you can cut comfortably. You could cut the second JJ, I could see that, but opening JJ again opens more lines of play. So yeah, get back in the slide, and then another card I want to talk about is DD Crow. I think crows are quite nice cards. The ability to hit a Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage is good. The ability to hit... I just realized I got 3 different rarity crows. All ultra, but 3 different prints. Crow on Engage is pretty nice. You could also crow an Albion when it's using its effect to set. You could preemptively crow a Albaz. You could also crow a what's the other thing? Crow an Albion to stop the sets and follow up. So crow is something I could look into. Dark Ruler is also a good call out. I do believe the best deck in the game right now in this meta is probably between Power Patron and Doomsday. I see that Doomsday deck, and it is quite powerful in terms of end board. But there's a lot of bricks, a lot of engine, not much non-engine. So there's also that argument to be made. In terms of deck that has the best balance, I do believe it's Kewl. This deck has everything you need. It has starters, hand traps, extenders. The only thing it lacks is the ability to draw cards. So normally the hand traps you start off with is mostly the hand traps and things you're going to end off with, to the exception of like Q summoning a hand trap, something like that. So yeah, that's it. These are going into the main. These three are coming out, and then that will free up some space in the extra. Maybe we do 2 Fallen and Virtuous. I don't think I would do 3 if I'm not main decking it. So 2 Fallen and Virtuous, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then slots for 2 more cards. Maybe we could look at putting in 2 DD Crows. It's just something to assist. And then the Super Poly, I'm on the fence on. I'm not 100% sold. But again, I'm not playing Harmonia, so I do have the space for it. I do believe maybe the Salon will come out, so I could play a second Super Poly target. Might drop down. Yeah, the second Super Poly target's all. I wouldn't cut the second RS. I don't think I need Typhon. Typhon wouldn't have won me any games. So, yeah. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you on the next one, which will probably be next week, Thursday, Friday or so, after locals. So, take care.